Cup.
Lines off, Jockey.
Set, and they're racing. Reefscape just drops back towards the rear in the early stages. Guadalajara over on the far side away quickly. Barolo is up there as well. Out wider then in the early stages, Wing d'Argent, and right there too is Motafarad, the 200-to-1 outsider. Now Kieren Fallon on Yeats is up searching for a handy position. The question is, will he go on? In fact, I think his mind is made up now, as High Action with the striped sleeves and the check cap now crosses over in front of Yeats and goes on. From in second place, Wing d'Argent. Yeats is tucked away third, followed by Tungsten Strike the outside, and further back then is Distinction, right in the center of the pack. Back on the inside of runners is Guadalajara, followed next by Sergeant Cecil, who's reefing and pulling early, not settling for Alan Munro. He's used to much bigger fields, although he has raced in a few single-figure number races. Further back in the field then is Kieren, and still Sergeant Cecil taking a very strong hold in last position. Racing up the home straight the first time, and it's High Action out in front here by 3 lengths or so. To in second place, Wing d'Argent. Then in third is Tungsten Strike, who's on the outside of Yeats. They're 2 or 3 lengths in advance of Distinction. 1 length further back is Barolo. 1 length further back in the field then is Reefscape, followed by Guadalajara. Media Puzzle is back fourth last, followed then by Sergeant Cecil and Kieren, and still at the tail of the field is Motafarad as they swing right-handed now out of the home straight, and they've got just over 1.5 miles to travel in the Ascot Gold Cup. And out in front here, setting a good pace too, is High Action going on. This will really suit the stayers, I'd say, trying to really tuck them along at a good pace by 6 or 7 lengths here. To up in second place at this stage is Wing d'Argent. Then back in third is Yeats, just being passed there by Tungsten Strike on the outside. They're followed further back by Distinction, and Barolo is tucked away on the inside, the yellow sleeves and cap. They're followed by Media Puzzle, and Reefscape is there as well. Well back is the dark blue jacket, or the royal blue jacket of Guadalajara, being tracked by Sergeant Cecil, who's held up at the rear of the field now. Motafarad is well back, and so too is Kieren. Running downhill now past the mile, and the leader here is High Action, who's come back to the field now, leads by only a length to Tungsten Strike, who's up on the outside of Wing d'Argent. Behind them is Yeats, who's had a perfect run. A length away then Distinction. Mick Cannan is just keeping an eye on Fallon ahead of him. Half a length further back in the field then follows Barolo, then Reefscape from Guadalajara as they go into Swinley Bottom. They're followed by Media Puzzle, the 2002 Melbourne Cup winner. Well back too is Kieren with Sergeant Cecil, who's third last. Last at this stage is Motafarad, the rank outsider. Racing out of Swinley Bottom now, the stiff uphill climb towards home, less than 6 furlongs to travel. High Action out in front here from Tungsten Strike, who's being ridden along to try and apply pressure, followed by Wing d'Argent. The tempo's really increased. Yeats is coming into it on the outside. Distinction is tracking him out wider, followed then by Barolo. Guadalajara coming into it as well. Well back then is Reefscape. Sergeant Cecil behind horses as they start to group up now and run to the home turn in the Gold Cup. High Action, the leader from Tungsten Strike, and Wing d'Argent. Yeats around the outside, Guadalajara. A length and a half to Distinction, called on for an effort. Sergeant Cecil needs a run as they swing for home now, and Media Puzzle is well back. High Action led them into the straight. Here's Yeats on the outside, ranges up now and grabs the lead quickly, followed then by Tungsten Strike. Distinction is under pressure. Out wider then is Reefscape. Sergeant Cecil weaving his way through, but Yeats has gone for home now. Will he stay? Just over a furlong and a half to go. Distinction battling on, trying hard to make some inroads into this lead as they come inside the final furlong. It's Yeats, 3 or 4 in front. Reefscape, Distinction, they're not going to catch him. Yeats has outclassed them. Yeats wins the Ascot Gold Cup by 4 or 5 lengths. Tight second, photo between Reefscape and Distinction. A gap then to High Action in fourth, followed then by Sergeant Cecil, Guadalajara, then Barolo, Tungsten Strike. A long gap then to Wing d'Argent, then Kieren, and unfortunately Media Puzzle has broken down right on the line. He's been pulled up very quickly by Pat Smullen and has been unsaddled, and walking over the line is Motafarad. Yeats the classy horse. He was one-time favourite for the Derby. Remember that. He wins it by 5 lengths. Reefscape gets second. In third, then, is Distinction. Fourth is High Action. In fifth, then, is Sergeant Cecil. In sixth is Guadalajara. In seventh, Barolo. Eighth is Tungsten Strike, as you can see there. And still waiting for the others. A long way behind them, Winged d'Argent. But Yeats, he was in his 3-year-old year, a brilliant horse. He missed the Derby. There's Media Puzzle, unfortunately distressed. And let's check the placings. The winner is number 10, Yeats, owned by John Magner and Mrs. David Nagel. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, ridden by Kieren, Fallon. Second, number 6, Reefscape, ridden by Christophe Soumillon. Third, number 3, Distinction, Mick Cannan. And fourth, number 4, High Action, ridden by Richard Hughes. So they are that's the 1, 2, 3, 4. And Yeats winning the Ascot Gold Cup, and the same owning combination as connected with the ill-fated Horatio Nelson, so compensation for them.
Well, what an extraordinary race to watch. This is why Kieren Fallon is in such demand. It's why Aidan O'Brien has been champion trainer so many years as well. Just have a look, though, at Guadalajara on the bend with Frankie Dettori. Runs into Winged d'Argent on the bend. Both of them suffer for that. But Kieren Fallon, this horse has never run over a trip anywhere near this far. 2.5 miles for the first time. He decides to go for it. 2 furlongs from home. And then, Willie, his heart must have slightly been in his mouth. Is this horse going to get home or not?
He's going to get home because he's the horse that's got the class of the race. He's by Sadler's Wells, and you can see there a little bit high knee action, but obviously the class. You know, a Coronation Cup winner running over this Gold Cup trip of actually a mile further than that race. And Kieren